Hi, Terry. How are you today, my man?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Well, welcome to Terry Tuesday.
That's it. Terry Tuesday.
Yes, indeed. Not two for Tuesday, but Terry Tuesday. Hey, last night, Jamie Martinez debuted as the host of Horse Center. I
Yeah.
thought she did a fabulous job with Sean. I think she's got a lot of natural talent, and I can tell you, no matter if things go wrong, that smile fixes everything.
It does. I liked it. I watched the whole thing. It was really good. Yeah. So
And
and that was a
Tony
good
Black
guest.
is always a fantastic guest.
He is. Yeah. He's got a lot to say. I'll tell you that right now. So
And then there was Sean.
yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, just busting your rear end there, Sean. Sean does a fantastic job. We wouldn't get anything done, honestly, without Sean because he does everything in the background.
I know.
So, yeah, indeed. He's the one that makes sure that all the social sites work, that everything works the way it's supposed to work. So tonight, Sean and Smiling Jamie will be back with a special guest tonight. That guest is, come on, open up Facebook. I know that Biacone is the last name. I think the first name is Aubrey, but I'm not 100% sure. And Facebook's not working right now. So I guess that's, here we go. Yes, indeed. It is Andy Biancone. So I'm sorry, Andy Biancone. That's the guest tonight with Sean and our special host, Jamie Martinez. They'll be live with Andy at 8 p.m. Eastern right here on Horse Racing Radar TV and on Facebook Live. To make sure you don't miss it, what should people do, Terry?
Oh, they should, go and subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at Horse Race, the number 2 day, also Instagram and Facebook, and give us a like if you like what you see.
So Jamie's on there. Yes, Andy. I'm sorry, Jamie. You know, I was a CTE student. Sometimes, and I don't like to do this. I like to tell myself I have a good memory, but sometimes I mess it up. But Jamie, you did a phenomenal job. Like I said, no matter what, that smile erases any kind of mistakes, but there weren't any anyway. Just a little bit of a mishap in the beginning, but those things are to be expected. Yeah. Too many buttons on the right-hand side, right, Jamie, to kind of remember which one to press and which one's not to press. And I know how that goes.
She did a great job. My wife, Honey Bunny, really liked her too. So.
And if you get the Honey Bunny seal of approval, that's better than FDIC on your bank account, and I can guarantee you that.
That's right.
All right. Yesterday, Terry, kind of a crazy day as we thought at PARX with all those deep fields and stuff like that. Managed to somehow squeak home one at the end. Let's see. Today, we have a similar story at Colonial Downs. It's a 9-race card. The weather there, I think, is supposed to be nice because the track is running on the turf and on the dirt. So we should have a good day in terms of surface is concerned. But once again, we are challenged with a deep field and a lot of horses, and I don't think really too many prohibitive favorites today.
No, none. I think it's going to be a nice day. There are a lot of, like you said, a lot of scratches. So
a lot of scratches messing up stuff too.
That changed a lot of my tickets. So
me too, for sure. Well, race 1, Terry, is the first race on the card. Obviously, race number 1 is a 5.5 furlongs on the outer turf. Get accustomed to that, because there are quite a few races today at 5.5 furlongs on the outer turf. So far at the current meet, they have run 15 of these 5.5 furlong outer turf affairs, 9 of which were won by speed, 4 of which went wire to wire. None have won from the rail. 2 through 7 underperform, 8+ and you get a major bonus. This is a race, Terry, that got a lot of my picks got completely whacked out by scratches.
Mm-hmm.
You had the 5 horse, which was one of my left arrow horses, get doused. The 7 horse, speed horse, got knocked out. The 1 horse got knocked out. That pretty much leaves 1 horse, I think, in this race that everybody's going to be betting on, Terry. That's the 3 horse. This guy is a dropping in class. To square around the 3 means he's going to get an early pace advantage over the rest of the field. And on top of that, has the late pace prime number for late pace. Fastest horse, most late legs. How do you catch this one, or can't you catch this one?
No, I don't think they're going to. Rampart, she ran second versus similar her last race for the 3rd time in a row and has the highest last race speed rating, and her best turf speed is fastest among today's starters. And I've got a feeling she's going to be like 2 to 5,
I think 1 to 9, Terry.
maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like number 6, Fashion Acida, Fashionta.
Fashionicita.
Yeah.
Fashioncita. I don't know.
She is a closer and finished in the money in 5 out of 8.
Fashionista, Terry. Fashionista.
Fashionista. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
She's a closer who finished in the money in 5 out of 8 starts this year. And then number 4, CJ's Cat 5 showed speed in her last race. So the shorter distance offers some hope for improvement. And then number 8, Imagine the Kiss returned to a sprint, which may help.
It's the only sort of kisses I get anymore. Imaginary, Terry. That and from my dog. But only when I have food. If I don't have any food, I don't get. My dog runs away. Anyway, 3 horse was Rampart. Was 1-1 before all the scratches. Definitely has an incredible early pace advantage. The speed figures are so much better than everybody else's. Might as well go for some shots behind it. The 4 horse CJ's Cat 5, if that's even a shot. Horse has been at Colonial Downs twice, does manage to have a third. It's the only time it's hit the board. So maybe it can hit the board again here. Probably not anywhere near the leader, the winner's circle. Number 6, Fashionista. Horse is another one that's done okay on the turf. Maiden claiming $45,000 last out. So maybe taking a little bit of a step up, but maybe not as big a step up as some of the other horses that remain. Seems like it's a little bit better horse on terms of dirt, where it's run 6 times, 3 times in the second place spot. Did get a pretty good effort on an off track and on the turf. Got a third in 3 tries. So maybe it likes the turf. And then finally, the 2 horse, the final horse, Call Me Penny, did show a lot of early pace last out at Finger Lakes after dropping in from Gulfstream Park. So maybe that track drop will continue to hold to form here at Colonial Downs. Maybe. We'll see. I think the 3 horse gets about a 10-length lead, and they never see the backside of another horse again.
Yep.
Number 2, race 2 is a 6 furlong maiden claiming $25,000 race, Terry, for a purse of $40,000. If we take a look at the profile of a winner for a 6 furlong Colonial Downs race, 11 of them, 7 won by horses that like to get to the front. 4 of the 11 taking them from gate to wire. You do get a slight rail bonus. Post 2 and 3 get a little bit of a penalty. 4 through 7, they get bonus to 2. And then finally, there has not been a winner from 8 or out yet. How do you, you and I both agree. Scuba gets the first nod here.
That's right. Scuba, he is the first-time starter whose trainer wins 32% of the time in sprint races. And he has a trainer-jockey combination who in the last 14 days have been in the money 7 times, winning 4 of those. And then number 7 is my second one, Genius. He's also a first-time starter whose dam has 1 winner from 1 starter, and he has a decent workout. And then number 3, Spritzer. He has improved his speed rating in each of the last 3 races, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And then number 2, Gio D'Oro. He drops in class today and has a good workout on July 17th.
Number 1 for me, Scuba. This one has some very good works getting ready. It's a Larry Ravelli horse. Larry does exceptionally well, especially relative to the other trainers in here with first-time starters and maidens. Expect a good effort from the 1 horse. Number 7, Terry. There's always got to be a horse you got to pick with your name on it. Genius. I wanted to put this one on the top spot. Good Colonial works and improving, but trainer Thomas Vance does struggle to win. Number 3, Spritzer did run the top last race speed figure and has an EP advantage with a plus advantage. She still has the lead after half a mile, has a chance. If not, it's probably going to fade. And then finally, a couple of us here. Blokes, the 5 horses, is my final choice in race number 2. I figured, we got to have something that's after us as well. But it has had a run at Colonial Downs. Did manage to finish second there. Ran in maiden special, 60 last time out. Going to drop in class, although it has run at this level before. But when it ran at this level before, it did show a little bit of early pace. Did show an ability to get involved early and then maybe get the job done. Again, here, if we look, I forgot to show this, Terry, but we do see once again the 3 horse does have an early pace advantage with the plus there. The negative sign means the horse is running at the same class. You have the 4 horse here dropping in class as a pressure horse, probably something I like to see. You had a bunch of first-time starters in here. The 6 got scratched. The 2 horse is dropping in class and has the top late pace figure. So maybe some of those things come into play in this race number 2 today at the Colonial Downs. Terry, yesterday we talked a little bit about picks with the professor and how much he loved those Los Angeles Dodgers and did not like your San Francisco Giants. Any idea what happened in that game, Terry?
Yeah, they beat the hell out of us. I think Logan Webb had a little bit of tough time in a couple of innings and gave up 5 or 6 runs. So, yeah, it just was, it was very distressful for me.
Well, you should have taken the picks with the professor. You would have been happy about that. You would have more money for your bankroll.
That's right, but I didn't bet it because I knew that he's probably always right, and if I bet against my Giants, it's like betting against my heart. So,
oh, you can't do that, Terry. Well, today the play of the day for the picks for the professor is the Orioles. They're catching a plus 110. He said going back to the Dodgers made a lot of sense tonight, but he doesn't want to bet against Terry's heart once again. So tonight he's going to go with the Orioles plus 110. Spencer Howard and of course Rangers relief corps. The Rangers offense isn't good enough to drive this price, as this one would make more sense if you flip the odds on those 2 teams. Take the advantage of the plus odds in the game with the Orioles. Slightly more likely to win than the Rangers. So you can get the picks with the professor's play of the day every single day at Picks with the Professor /play. But there is a link right there in the description on YouTube and in Facebook and in Twitter, along with a link to today's full show so that you can catch the professor's entire thoughts on every single Major League Baseball game today. And while you're there, kindly make a whole lot of noise in the comment section. Let them know that horseracingtoday.net sent you. Race 3, Terry, over at Colonial Downs today is a 5.5 furlongs on the outer turf race once again. As I mentioned, there's quite a few of those today, Terry, on the outer turf, 5.5 furlongs. Quick recap. You have 15 races, 9 of which were won by speed. You had 4 go wire to wire. None have won from the rail yet. 2 through 7 have underperformed. And there's a major bonus if you happen to wear an 8 or outs. Unfortunately, this is another one of those races, Terry, that was marred by a bunch of scratches. So we had the 3 get knocked out. Come on now, cooperate with me. You got the 3 knocked out. You got the 7 knocked out. Here again, we find a horse with a pace advantage. The 2 horse does have a plus early pace advantage over the field, which would probably make him really a left arrow horse and not a straight pressure horse. And that advantage actually extends a little bit after 4 furlongs. The problem is he runs so fast, he gets tired at about 4 furlongs, Terry. And then we have the 6 and the 7 with the 6 and the 1 showing the most late pace. Kind of a skinny field here, Terry, overall. How do you see it playing out when they come to the finish line?
Well, I like that number 4 horse, Inhalation. He has won 2 out of 2 starts at Colonial Downs, so he likes the track. And he ran second in his last race at Churchill Downs. He has the highest last speed rating, tied with another one, and has a trainer who wins 22% of the allowance races that he has an entry in. And I like number 2, County Final. He finished 3rd on the dirt in his last race as the favorite. But he has a trainer who wins 25% of the time when bringing the favorite back again, and the shorter distance should help. Number 6, Ship It Red. He has the highest last speed rating, tied with the horse above. Drops in class today and has a good 4 furlong workout on July 25th. Then number 5, Manny Wah. His trainer wins 18% of the turf races he has a horse entered in.
Manny Wah, I remember that horse. Used to run in some pretty good races. I'm going to go with Inhalation. This one is 2 for 2 on the Colonial Downs grass. It's actually my long shot of the day. I don't know what his odds are going to be with the 3 horse scratching, but we'll see. Did tie for the top last race speed figure last time. And when I looked at that last race, the setup looked very similar to the ones where he came back and ran really well at Colonial Downs. So I think he's rounding into Virginia form. Number 2, County Final, has a 2 furlong pace advantage. And as I mentioned, a little bigger 4 furlong pace advantage. But if you can't hold the lead into the lanes, probably going to fade, maybe just get nipped at the wire. Number 1, Smokin' Jay. This one and the 6 basically are one and the same to me. They're similar on paper, both of which have some additional late pace relative to the rest of the field. But the 1 horse has been running at Tier 1 tracks, and the 6 horse running at Tier 2 tracks. So that's why I ranked it 1-6 instead of 6-1. Race number 4, Terry, is a 5.5 furlong race. I told you there's a lot of these today, so not a whole lot of time to go to the refrigerator and get a drink once the gates open. No. This is a maiden claiming $25,000 race. In this particular spot, again, you want to be fast, Terry. You want to be close to the front. You probably don't want to have an inside draw. Other than that, everything else is about the same. How do you see this race playing out? We have the same 4 horses, just in a slightly different order.
All right. You don't want to go and do your sheet first, or
my sheet?
Yeah, where you show how they run.
Oh yes, you're right, Terry. I told you the C is for. It's all right. Anyway, we got a scratch in this race, I believe, right? The 4 horse got scratched.
Yeah,
and then we got a couple of. Man, I can't tell you. Sometimes it really drives me bananas here, Terry. We got a left arrow horse here. We have a 5 horse. These ones in the boxes mean that they are going to likely get a pace setup that fits their comfort zone. The down arrows indicate that these are horses that are dropping in class in these maiden races. And again, for me, I like to pay a lot of attention to the movement in maiden races, not so much the form, because a drop in class here, and you can easily see a form reversal. And then we have a couple of first-time starters one first-time starter over here, the 9. And then the 6 you see, so that's what that 1 first stands for over here. And over here you see an NC. Mm-hmm. This NC means this horse has never been close. So this is one of those horses, Terry, where if it beats you, and you just say, you know what, there's no way in a million years I would have ever had that horse. The 1 horse is an E horse, meaning it probably needs the lead to get the win. In all likelihood, the 2 and the 5 are going to break sharper than the 1. And if you study horse racing, you'll notice that E horses that don't get to the lead, a lot of times they don't even finish in the money. So pay attention to that when you're doing your handicapping.
That's true.
All right, Terry, what do you think now?
Well, it looks like that 6 horse is an all horse. But anyway, I like number 1, Swift Dancer. As you said, he ran 3rd at Tampa Bay Downs, but then he took a 3-month break. But he's been working steadily and has 2 bullet works in a row. So if he can get out there in front and get no pressure, he'd probably do pretty good. Mm-hmm. Number 5, North Bay, is my second pick. He switches to high percentage jockey and winning jockey and drops in class today. And his breeding suggests he'll like the grass, as the dam has 4 winners from 5 starters, and 2 of those are turf winners. Number 8, Bailey's Run, is my 3rd pick. His trainer wins 31% of the time when moving a horse from a maiden to a maiden claiming race. He should improve while returning to a sprint, and blinkers are added today. And number 7 is my 4th pick, Smallfield. He has the highest last speed rating, drops in class today, and his best turf speed is fastest among today's starters.
I'm going to start race 4 with number 5, North Bay. This one has a little bit of early pace. I expect it could be the leader out of the gates, Terry. And it gets first-time Lasix. You know how much I like that combination, first-time Lasix with speed horses. It is a maiden special weight dropper into the maiden claiming ranks. Tom Carley, our friend, says that is the biggest drop in all of horse racing. Last time out, ran a little bit better fractions in the opening quarter. So I think that a shot of Lasix is going to make a huge difference here. Number 7, Smallfield, the second choice in race number 4. This one does have a plus late pace advantage, but also has a little bit of early giddy up and go when the gates open as well. The past performances say this one's likely to be a little bit better, maybe a lot better in the 3rd start after a layoff. Number 1, Swift Dancer, Terry, has been off since late April, as you mentioned. This guy does have a lot of juice once the gates open. A lot of pretty good Colonial down works as well, including a pair of bullets as gets ready to make his return to the track. And then finally, number 8, Bailey's Run. This is also taking the Tom Carley dip from maiden special weight to maiden claiming. Trainer Anthony Granitz does hit at 32% on the Tom Carley drop, and that's a pretty good number. It's an alpha angle for Mr. Granitz as well, meaning it outperforms his overall win rate. Race 5, Terry, is the end of the early pick 4. We'll have our hot dog pick 4 tickets in just a moment. Race number 5, Terry, is let me click on the right button here, mile on the inner turf. And pay attention to this one as well, because I think almost all the races are either 5.5 furlongs or 1 mile on the inner turf. 1 mile on the inner turf, the profile of a winner. 13 races, 8 of which were won by horses that were in the first 3 at the quarter-mile marker. 8 of which were won by speed. Only one, though, of those 8 managed to go wire to wire. So looks to me more like tactical speed than actual front-end dragster speed. You do have a penalty if you wear a 1, a 2, or 3 when the gates open. Otherwise, 4 and out, you get a slight bonus. In this race, Terry, is my box it up. And that's where we take 4 horses, Terry. And what do we do with them?
We box them up in the exacta for $1. We box them in the trifecta for 50 cents and the superfecta for a dime. So.
Yes, indeedy. So Terry had a really nice one of these on Friday, too. So hopefully Terry's sitting on another one in race 6. I'm hoping I'm sitting on one in race 5 today with number 6, T in China. Left arrow horse. Oh, I forgot to show that again, Terry. With the top late pace numbers in the field, should be close to the front, drops in class. And then at Colonial Downs, the horse has been out 5 times, but no wins yet. A 2nd and 3/3. So a Bob Dylan horse, as Terry calls them. Number 5, High Arabian, also a left arrow horse. This guy's moving down in class 2. It's getting the top jockey so far at this particular Colonial Downs meet in Victor Carrasco, who's winning at 30%. And the horse High Arabian's been out at Colonial Downs a couple of times, collecting a win and a 2nd. Number 8, Running on Entry, maiden win, came in the 3rd race after a layoff. Just what? The horse is making its 3rd race off a layoff today. Last time the horse made a 3-race cycle, the 3rd race was the best, and it was also at a mile. And then finally, number 11, Bygone Days, Colonial Downs, Denzel Washington horses, I call them. Those are horses that spend time in the barbershop, haven't gotten a haircut yet. Maybe today's the day. At Colonial Downs, 6 times out, 2 seconds and a 3rd. Everywhere else, this horse has run 18 times, has 1 win, 2 seconds and a 3rd. Clearly, 50% in the money at Colonial Downs, nowhere near that anywhere else. On the turf, the horse has been in the money 6 out of 14 races and does have the top speed number. If you put the horse on any other surface, he's got as many wins as Terry and I do on any other surface, and that is 0, Terry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I screwed up the thing there, Terry. Let me pull that up real quick if you don't mind.
Okay, and you need to change the name on the 11 horse.
Oh, I see. It's not Tisnina.
No, it's not.
That's all right, but the number's right. That's all that matters.
The number's right. Yeah.
Yes.
The horse is Bygone Days.
Didn't I call it that, right? But I just
called it that, but you have the wrong name there. So
it's the old man in me, Terry. We're allowed to make mistakes, right?
That's right. I make plenty of those.
All right. So in race number 5, you see the 10 horse here. I think this guy scratched out though, didn't he, Terry, or no?
Number 5.
The 10, race 5, the 10.
Oh yeah.
Or did he or didn't he?
Not far as I know, but
no. Anyway, I don't know why. Okay, so you got this.
Look,
12 scratch for sure. All right, but anyway, here we go. We have the 5 and the 6 horses are both left arrow horses, meaning that they look like closers on paper, but their early pace figures suggest they're going to be really close to the front. The 10 horse should be close to the front as well. Does have a little bit of a pace advantage at the 4 furlong marker. And to me, when I look at that race, there's a reason why I threw the 10 out. I don't remember, Terry, but while you're making your picks, I'll look it back up and I'll bring it back up when we come back up.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I like the number 9, Osa. She won her last race at Colonial Downs, and she can handle the distance. And then number 6 is my second choice, T in China. She finished 3rd versus Tougher in her last race and drops in class today. And number 1, CC's Freedom. She has finished in the money in 3 of her last 4 races, winning 1 of the races, and has the highest last speed rating. And then number 3, Tisnina. she drops in class today and has a decent workout.
So looking at the number 10, VK Star, the horse with a little bit of early pace advantage, he has an early pace advantage for about a quarter mile, and then the tires come off, Terry. He just starts to run sideways. I don't know if you remember back on the highways, back when we were younger. You don't see these cars anymore, but you remember like the Novas, the Chevy Novas, when they are a little bit older, they would drive down the road sideways.
Yeah, I do.
And they'd be going straight where the front of the car was here and the back of the car was here, and it's driving like that.
Yeah.
That's what VK Star looks like when it's running down after the first quarter mile. It's running sideways like an old Nova.
That's too bad.
All right, Terry. So this is the race 5 does close out the early pick 4 from races 2, 3, 4, and 5. Terry and I have both put together $18 tickets for our hot dog pick 4s. And if anybody out there runs a hot dog company and wants to sponsor the hot dog pick 4, Nathan's, Oscar Mayer, heck, if you're a regional brand, let us know.
Yeah, Miller's hot dogs, they're good.
Any hot dog. I don't care if they're never mind. Terry, go ahead with your picks. Why did you put the card the way you did?
Well, I like actually I had a lot different, and then my one of my horses got scratched. My best bet of the day got scratched. So I had to change it around. So I went to 2 horses in that first leg, 2 horses in the third leg, and because I couldn't see any real horses to single there. And then I've got the 3 in the fourth and 3 in the fifth.
Yeah, with all these maiden claiming races and these mating races, and I really would like to have more coverage here, but I went 3-2, 3-2, hoping that somewhere in there, I feel like there might be some favorites in race number 2, a heavy favorites. I'm hoping to beat some of the heavy favorites and then maybe catch a value in 3 and 4, maybe get a nice ticket on the hot dog pick 4s. That was my thinking in putting those tickets together. Let's see if that actually plays out. Race number 6, Terry, at Colonial Downs is your best bet of the day, as well as your box it up. So you're going to double up on that. But before we double up on your best bets and your box it up, you also have a best bet today in Philadelphia, PARX. But before we do PARX, how did your best bet do yesterday?
Yeah, actually, it was at Thistle Downs, and it was the 4th race, and close to me ran 4th, my first pick. But my second pick ran 2nd, paid $240 and $240. Anyway, so today,
yesterday, we got to do better today. Bounce back day for Terry on Terry Tuesday.
That's right. Remember, today is only the 2nd of August, so that was only my first day. So this is my second day. Anyway, PARX Racing, race 7 is my pick of the day today. Number 1, he's incredible. He finished 3rd.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. You had an incredible horse yesterday that I didn't have at all, which knocked me right out of a pick 4. But
that's why I picked him.
That's right. He finished 3rd versus Tougher in his last race, drops in class, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. Then number 6, Owen I Am. He has won 3 of his last 4 races, finishing 4th in his last race as the favorite. But the trainer wins 22% of the time when he brings the favorite back to race again. And then I like number 4, Current Hope. He finished 2nd in 3 races in a row and then tried turf without success. Now he returns to the dirt where he seems to like it better.
All right. So that's Terry's best bet of the day over at PARX. And while you're at horse racing today, every day you can get Terry's best bet and all sorts of great stuff on our website. So make sure you check out horseracingtoday.net. But the greatest stuff you can get on there is the HRT gear. The reason it's a great stuff to get is because you can help support the show. You can see Terry sporting that number 1 hat. I don't know, look, what's better. Terry looks better, Terry, or the hat. I'll give Terry the slight edge, but the hat really picks up the package. But it also, it helps us support the show. Please hit the HRT gear. And for 6 days, wow, for a long time here, you're going to get 20% off. So you can beat back that inflation. Horse Racing Today is trying to help you in every way to overcome that with winning picks and 20% discounts on our gear. So, what more can we do, Terry?
Not much.
Maybe Terry and Rich for office. What do you think in 2024?
Hey, it sounds good to me.
Yes, we'll just have, from the Oval Office, we'll have the presidential seal behind us doing horse racing picks. That would be a hell of a thing.
Yep.
We might actually add some value from 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue then, no matter who wins. All right, so let's go off to race number 6, Terry, at the Colonial Downs. This one is your box it up on the day. Race 6 is I should have been prepared for this, 1 mile on the inner turf allowance, $20,000 race. Again, just a quick profile of the 1 mile inner turf winner at Colonial Downs so far. 13 races, 8 of which were won by horses that were in the first 3 at the first call. Only 1 of which managed to take them gate to wire. So you probably want a horse that's sitting second or third once the gates open at the quarter-mile marker. You probably don't want a horse wearing a 1, a 2, or a 3. So, of course, I start off with a 1. You get a slight bonus and 4 and out. Terry, you're doing double duty here with the 9 horse as your best bet and this race as your box it up.
Yeah, I had the best bet early in the 3rd race originally, and they scratched him. So I thought, well, I'm going to look and see what's a horse I really like and get me some odds. And so this 9 is 5-1 on the morning line. My best bet, Conundrum Queen. She has won 3 of the last 4 races, drops in class today, switches to 5% winning jockey. She figures to improve while returning to the turf, and she has the highest speed figure at today's distance, so she marks a lot of boxes off. Number 1, Beach House, is my next second pick. She won her last race at Colonial Downs and has a high percentage winning jockey, Joseph Rocco Jr., who returns to ride her again. Number 5, Chick's Shadow, is my 3rd pick. She won her last race at Tampa Bay Downs. She comes back to Colonial Downs, where she is 1 for 1, so she has a perfect record there. And then my 4th pick is number 2, Foggy Dreams. She drops in class today, and her jockey, Jose Ruse, is winning at a 43% clip at this meeting. So they're all going to be pretty nice. It's a wide open race, so it might be a pretty nice box it up with some good payoffs.
I notice a lot of times, even if we don't hit our box it up, Terry, I think we do a great job at identifying the race where the opportunity exists.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen a lot of them where we picked the right race. We just didn't necessarily pick the right horses. So maybe if you agree or disagree with Terry and I on these picks, a lot of times we do identify the right races where prices come in. So take a look at what you like as well in race number 5 and race number 6. Maybe you'll find some higher priced horses in there that you like, or maybe lower priced horses, but a lot of times those races do have some pretty substantial payouts.
Yeah, and
for me, go ahead.
Let me tell you that it costs me a little bit more, but when I'm playing and I'm going to play the box it up, I'll throw whatever horse that I don't have in mind that you have in your race, like the 6th race. I don't have the 7, so I'll throw the 7 in there with my 4 horses. Cost me a little bit more, but it's worked out for me. So.
Perfect. I'm glad that every now and then I do something positive other than ridicule you, Terry. All right. So number 1, Beach House. This guy is a horse for the course. He's run on it 3 times, and he's won every single time. He's run on other tracks 4 times, and once again has as many wins outside of Colonial Downs as Terry and I do, 0. This guy's running, stretching out after running a sprint for 6 races in a row. The debut was 1 mile at Keeneland. Obviously, something went wrong in that race because the horse didn't come back for more than a year. So I think perhaps they thought at the beginning this horse was a distance horse. We'll find out today. Number 7, Waywardness, the one Terry doesn't have that in his own account. He will have in just a little while. This one ran better times at 1 mile and a 16th on the inner turf than he did at 1 mile on the outer turf. I think this one has a chance to even step up a little bit more in the 3rd race after layoff. But I really don't know, because when I rewind, you'll see that the horse has never made it 3 races in a row. So I got to guess that means the horse is really sound. Otherwise, based upon its history, it would be in the barn right now. Number 5, Chick's Shadow, another that ran faster fractions last out. Looked to improve in her 3rd start after a layoff as well. And at the last race, the internal numbers, the pace figures for the early, middle, and late part of the race were all better. That's something that I have found to be a very useful tool in handicapping. It's a pretty good indication that the horse is on the upswing. And then number 9, Conundrum Queen, Shipson from Gulfstream Park, where it was successful at the distance, running 3 times, 2 wins, and a second, all of them which are on grass. The resume says to expect a very nice effort in the 2nd race off the break. Race number 7, Terry, the lucky race number 7. It is a 5.5 furlong race on the outer turf. We've gone over the what this race looks like any number of times. Last race, I forgot to bring up my pace worksheet, which will be available over at horseracingtoday.net in the recap of the show today. So make sure you go over there and check that out. The 4 horses, one that likes to get to the lead, Terry, does have an early pace figure that says that he's got a good shot to be there. That's why he's squared off. The 7 and the 9 in here, Terry, these are 2 horses that look like closers on paper, but their early pace figures are going to push them towards the front of the pack when the gates open. That's why they are left arrow horses. The 10 horse in here has scratched, so I don't think he's a part of the scene, which opens up a pretty interesting thing for the 1, because the 1 and the 10 had the same exact late pace numbers, both of which are at least 5 points higher than the next. So the 1 gets a lone late pace advantage with the plus mark there. So I'd expect to see some action from the 1 horse as they're closing on a wire. One of those late pace plus like that yesterday almost killed my late pick for that 9 horse, which I would have been really sad because it was my 4th pick anyway, Terry. But fortunately, I got the nose on that one.
You did. And this is my long shot, the 5. And let me tell you, yesterday, my long shot yesterday ran 3rd, but I have no idea where yours ran because he didn't get in the money.
Well, you know what, Terry? We're here to win. So if you're happy with 3rd place, God bless you.
No, I'm happy that my long shot beat your long shot.
But it didn't, because it has to win, Terry, to count. That's like saying, you know what? I airballed. My airball was closer than your airball.
Oh, all right. Well, let's go back. Let's go in with my long shot, number 5, Red Wind. You know, she won her last race at Colonial Downs, has a high percentage winning jockey, and she has a trainer in the last 14 days, has won 2 out of 6 races. Number 2, Mastering Bella. She drops in class today. The shorter distance offers hope for improvement, and she has 2 bullet workouts in a row. And then number 6, my 3rd pick, Princess Cora. She has the highest last race speed rating, has a trainer who wins 31% of the time when shipping a horse into race, and the trainer jockey combination in the last 14 days has a record of 7 in the money and went 4 out of 10 races. And then number 9, my 4th pick, Lady Noi. She won her last race at Tampa Bay Downs.
I'm going to start with you, the number 5, Terry. Won her last race in the first try at Colonial Downs. Maybe from now on, I'm just going to do your pick, your long shot, since they beat mine, Terry. Anyway. This one did win the first try last time out at Colonial Downs in terms of the first time at the Virginia track. Afterwards, the horse cuts in class, which I do like, but what concerns me a little bit is the horse is cutting back from a route to a sprint. Did show speed in the route, but route speed doesn't always translate to sprint speed. So we'll see if that cutback in distance hurts. Number 6, Princess Cora, probably the most consistent runner in this field, does have our good friend Eddie C. angle, and Eddie C. is the partner of Chris P. on Spot Plays every Saturday, 9 a.m. Chris walks you through, along with Eddie, some of the picks at Saratoga that they think have an advantage over the rest of the field. You can catch that show every Saturday at 9 a.m. right here on Horse Racing Radar TV on YouTube. So while you're here, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to be notified when we go live. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Horse Race Today. No matter where you are, Terry, what? Thumbs up, right?
That's right.
Retweet and follow. All right. So for me, the 6, as I mentioned, Princess Cora. The 7 horse, the 9 horse is my 3rd choice. That's Lady Noi. That's a left arrow horse. Comes in from Gulfstream Park, Tampa Bay, and Monmouth Park. Best recent workout has been in the short turf sprints. Best recent work, in terms of its ability on the track, not on the practice track, has been in short turf sprints. And then finally, True Atka with the 10 horse scratch. This 1 horse now becomes a dominant closer at the end with at least a 5-point edge over the next closest late pace runner. Race number 8, we return to that 1 mile on the outer turf, Terry. Again, 1 mile on the outer turf. You got to be fast, tactical speed. You probably don't want to be on the inside. You more likely want to be on the outside. If we take a look, as I'm not going to forget this time, Terry, race number 8. We did have a significant scratch, I feel like, in this race, Terry, and that is the 8 horse, which had a plus early pace advantage. No longer exists because it got scratched out of this race. The 5 horse becomes a left arrow horse. The 6 horse has the top late pace figures. The 10 horse as one of the few early pressure types, probably one that's going to be close to the lead, but probably not on the lead. These two pressure horses, the 2 and the 11, they're boxed in. They're going to get paces that should put them close to the front. So they should be comfortable where they are when the gates open. And then the 9 also showing a little bit of early, late leg as well. As for me, the 6 horse in this spot, Terry, is my best bet of the day. Just like you, because of scratches today, I decided I'm going to try to find a little bit of value with my best bet as well. So I went with Ultimate Irony. Hopefully that's not a Freudian slip there. But this one tends to run some best after a little bit of rest, just like today. 3 consecutive speed figure increases in a row. Did run the top last race speed figure and then taking a little bit of a dip in class. So a combination of things in this horse's cycle that I like, which hopefully puts it in the winner's circle. Terry, you think it's going to end up with the top prize too?
I do, yeah. Ultimate Irony. He has finished in the money in all 4 of his last 5 races, and he's won one of those races at Pimlico. Has the highest last speed rating. Number 5 is my second pick. Better Think Twice. He has won 2 of his last 3 races. Drops in class today. Has a high percentage winning trainer and switches to a high percentage winning jockey. And then my third pick, number 9, Down Cold. He drops in class today and has a couple of decent workouts. And then I follow it up with number 2, my fourth pick, Mean Machine. He drops in class today and has a very good jockey.
That's what every kid wanted, every boy when I was younger. They wanted a mean machine for a car when we turned 16, right?
Yeah.
That was the plan. But did it work out that way? I had a Datsun F10. Do you know what those look like?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
One of those station wagons?
Yeah, I had a 56 Oldsmobile.
Yes, my parents, they gave me their Datsun F10. When I drove, I parked as far away from the school as I possibly could because it was school bus yellow. But my friends loved it because it had some space in there. And of course, you're 16 years old, you got your driver's license. I spent more money on the stereo system than I did any other part of the car, right?
Yeah.
So it was now I look back on it favorably, but at the time, I probably had to walk farther from where I parked to go to school than if I had just walked to school. And my house was 25 miles from the school.
Wow.
So race number 8, Terry, I'm going to go, as I said, the 6 horse as my best bet. Number 9, Down Cold. It's my second choice. This one's dropping in class for trainer Steve Asmussen. You don't really see a whole lot of Asmussen horses today, so I figured this must be one of his better ones. Eddie C. Angle, again, bullet workout, then a maintenance workout, and then goes to the track. Did show a lot more effort in the first half mile in the last race, so that's usually a sign, according to Craig Mikowski from Time Form US. Horses that improve in their 2 and 4 furlong pace numbers in the prior race are signs of improving horses. Number 5, Better Think Twice, is a left arrow horse, Terry. 2 for 2 at the distance. Big drop in class and making its third start off for break. And then the 10 horse in here, Terry, is for me one that scratched in because of the scratches in this race, but did on the turf, it's done okay. Actually has one of the better speed numbers achieved on turf in 3 races. Hasn't run a lot of them. Ray Gutierrez, a pretty good young jockey, kind of struggled a little bit so far, but this horse should improve second off a layoff and does again. It's one of those horses that has a big variance between its speed numbers, some high ones, some low ones, some good races, some bad races. So if you catch it on a good day, this one could take home the top prize. Final race on the card, Terry, is race number 9. It is a 5.5 furlong affair on the outer turf, claiming $10,000. Non-winners a 2 lifetime, 28 grand purse. Once again, we are in agreement on the final horse, the 6 horse. And if we look at race number 9, again, we get some scratches in here. Just the one, the 8 horse, wasn't really going to impact the race, in my opinion. The 9 horse should be close to the front. That's why it's boxed. It's a horse with the E, meaning it has to have the early lead to have a chance to win, or that's how it's won in the past. The 11 horse is my left arrow horse. It is a pressure horse, but could challenge the 9 for the lead, if not hold the lead outright. And here we see the 3 horse, again, getting an NC, meaning this horse has never been close. So if it wins, it just beats you, and we have absolutely no chance to collect on the late pick 4. And then, of course, the 6 and the 7 are your horses that have the most late pace as they get to the wire. So if they run too fast, the 6 and the 7 are the ones that are likely to capitalize. We both think the 6 is the one that will capitalize.
I do. I like number 6, Best Chance Yet. And I think today's the best chance yet because he drops in class, has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. He's actually tied with number 7, Jama Dillon, who was my second pick. He ran
It
fourth.
looks like you have it your third pick, unless the 2 scratched, Terry.
Oh, do I?
That's what I mean. Maybe I messed it up. I don't know. I have a propensity to mess things up. So that's.
Well, actually, it's my second pick. So as far as my sheet here shows. Anyway, ran fourth in his last race after coming the stretch 4 wide. And his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters, tied with Best Chance Yet. Then the number 2 horse, Odds and Ends. He has finished in the money 60% of his career races, winning 20% of those races, drops in class for this race. And then number 11, Billingsgate. He finished 4th, beaten only a length and 3/4 versus a lot tougher in the last start, and has the highest last speed rating.
Yes, indeed, Terry. You're correct. A transposition error on my part. You know, when you got these sausage links for fingers, sometimes you go to press one button and you press another. And that's, I mean, they must be really big because the 7 is over here and the 2 is over there. So they're not even close. So
I completely understand.
Just a major screw up from the guy wearing the one shirt today. So are you. So we're looking styling in the one horse. So maybe we can get some wins today. We both agree 6 and 7, Terry, are the way to start the last race of the day. Best Chance Yet, down in class, consistently runs the best numbers of this group. This is, again, a Denzel Washington horse at Colonial Downs. Been in the barbershop. Maybe today's the day it gets the haircut. 5 times out, 2 seconds and a third. Been same story at the distance. 6 times out, 3 seconds and a third. Jama Dillon did run the top last race speed figure in the last effort and had a much better pace number through the turn. And in these short sprints, that 5.5 furlongs, 5 furlongs, 6 furlongs, in those ranges, even shorter, that 4 furlong number is the most important number coming out of the turn. So keep an eye on that. Another horse that's done pretty well at the distance, just doesn't really like to win that much. 8 times out, collected 1 prize check and then 4 second place checks. Probably likes the first place checks better. Number 11, Billingsgate, my third choice, is a left arrow horse. Did run some better times early on in its last race. 3 consecutive speed figure increases, was slightly better at the beginning, the middle, and the end of its last race compared to the previous start. And then finally, number 4, Bull Trek went to the front last time out for the first time in 10 races. The internals showed some substantial early race improvement for the first half mile. Let's see if he can do it again and has more stamina in the second time to take these horses wire to wire. And that takes us wire to wire for the card here today. Hey, Charles, how you doing today, my man? Watch out for the 11, race 4, hot tip of the day, race 11 and number 4. From the E.F. Hutton of horse racing, Charles B. When he talks, you damn well better listen. Ain't that right, Terry?
That's right. It's really good.
Mm-hmm. So the prime rib pick 4, the last race of the day, this is the Terry pick 4, because I always want to kind of limit. I usually, when I bet, I do hot dog pick 4s. That's the way I do. I know Charles says he does Vienna pick 4s, Vienna wieners. Terry, he likes the prime rib pick 4s, so I had to accommodate him. This is what we do. Terry, we both agree on the format, the structure, 3 and then 4, 4, and 4. We just disagree a little bit on which race gets the 4.
That's right. That's right. Well, you know, if I had a little bit more budget on that 6th race, I would have thrown the 2 in there. It would have cost $128. So that's would have been my prime rib today. So I went 3, 4, 4, and 4. So
yeah, I felt like race number 8 for me was the race where, and we both agree the 6, the 5, and the 9 is our front 3 picks. Yeah, so I like the fact that we both agree there, Terry. I feel like that puts me in a good spot to come through that leg, and every other leg is 4, 4, and 4. So $96 for both of us on the prime rib pick 4. Once again, our full card picks today, Terry, look a little bit like this. So you can see Terry's best bet is in race number 6, with the 9 horse. My best bet is in race number 8 with the 6 horse. Terry's long shot, race number 7. So Terry putting together a best bet long shot double in races 6 and 7. My long shot is in race number 3. Our box it ups, we go back to backs box it up, Terry, in races number 5 and 6 with our $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta box. Our hot dog pick 4s starting in race number 2, both $18. And then finally, our prime rib pick 4s in races 6 through 9, both $96 today, Terry. It's interesting that we both spent the same money and structured our tickets the same side of 3-3-2-2 and then 3-4-4-4. Usually we don't do it like that.
No, not normally. And I wasn't going to do it like that until I got a couple of scratches, which made me change how I was going to do it.
Charles B says another hot day at the track today. Watch out for the closers at Colonial Downs. And we had a lot of plus closers in our picks today, Terry. So hopefully that does prove to be true. Yeah. We also have some picks today at, I think today, Horseshoe Indianapolis comes back up right after a break for a week, right?
Yeah, I think it does.
That is indeed the case. And our free picks today over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet are at Horseshoe Indianapolis. So if you're going to do a little bit of Horseshoe Indy action, please use the link here on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and YouTube. You'll see it down below, and they're all over the place at horseracingtoday.net. Please use one of those links so they know where you're coming from, and you can get all of today's Horseshoe Indianapolis picks. I think it's a 9 or 10 card race, 9 or 10 race card. Race number 1, 5 furlongs on the dirt. The 6-horse, Passion for Justice, gets the top pick there. So Passion for Justice can take home the hopefully the top check, Terry, and get us off to a good start at Horseshoe Indianapolis.
Sounds good to me.
Any final thoughts before we get up and out of here tonight?
Yeah, just everybody take it easy. Have a good week. Tomorrow's hump day. So getting up to the top there. And tell your loved ones that you love them. Give them a big kiss because like you say, every minute counts.
Every second counts. I don't know how many seconds there are in a day. There's a lot of them, but got to make every one of them count, right? For sure. Yep. Again, tonight, I think you'll want to spend some of those seconds with Jamie Martinez and our Sean, Swiss Army Sean, at 8 p.m. Eastern on Horse Center. They will have on TVG's Andy Biacone. I'm sure that's going to be a fantastic show. The best way to make sure you don't miss it is to subscribe while you're on YouTube. Also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you have any questions for Andy, for Jamie, or for Sean, make sure you hit them up in the comment section. I'm sure they would appreciate that. And then don't forget today, the Picks with the Professor. Again, links here in description on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you find our content. Play of the day, Baltimore Orioles plus 110. Terry? All right. That takes us wire to wire on this Terry Tuesday. We'll be back tomorrow with Saratoga. We'll do Del Mar on Thursday. Until then, Terry, till we get together again, we hope that no matter what you do today, it ends up only in one place, Terry, and that is
the winner's circle.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. As always, we appreciate your time.